What's going on, guys? It was 3 or 4 months ago where I did my last 1,000 Meph runs, and I have better gear now. So I decided, why not do it again? I could do the runs much more quickly with my sorceress, and I found some good drops again. No high runes, spoiler alert, but I found some good gear. So let's get started here. On run number 31, we find Grim Shield, and that is one doll skills, lidless. Run 59, we find a unique Tulwar, and that is Alibaba. So I think that's my probably second or third one I found total since starting a single player plug a year on Project Diablo 2. Next we find Trang's Wing, first one I found. Run 95, we find a Spiderweb Sash. I corrupted it and I did not get indestructible. An Avenger Guard on run 115. IK Helm. 131. We find some light plate boots. And it's Goblin Toe. Run 165. We find an amulet, usually like Cathin's. This time it's Tal's. On run 181, we find a unique Grim Helm, and I rolled 16% on the physical damage reduced. Run 203, I find Battle Gauntlets and a Fury Visor. Lava Gout, perfect on the max fire resist. And Fury Visor, 3-all War Cries, and mid-range on the stats. Next out of the chest, we find a Grand Charm. 1 to all cold skills. Great for my sorceress. Next, we find a Shaco and a Slayer Guard on the same run. It's Eth. And the Slayer Guard rolls 16, 19, and 196 ED. Next, we find a Wire Fleece at run 263. Gladiator's Bane. Run 276, we find a Swirling Crystal, and that's Tal's Orb. I found a few of those during my runs. Run 303, we find a unique Ballista, and this is the Bariza Do 248% ED. Run 352, we find a Small Charm. Actually, no, sorry, it's the Gilded Shield. It's a Herald of Zachar, my first one. 1 to combat skills, but still awesome on the stats. 28 strength, and my first one for my Zealer, so I was happy. Next, we find Andy's Visage Demon Head on run 379. 391, we find Nat's Helm. Pretty good rolls. 18, 26, and 18. Run 403, we find a Pull Rune out of that chest in the back. Run 412, we find another Fury Visor. 2 to War Cries and kind of low on the stats. Not as good as the first one we found. 432, we find a unique amulet and a Hierophant Trophy. So I decide to... I also got Hexfire, which is okay, I guess, for a fire source. So the Homunculus rolls 30 to all resist. And 3 to mana after each kill, which is low, but good on the resist. And then the amulet is Crescent Moon, 2 to all skills, and the leech doesn't really matter that much. 451, we find a Cold Facet, which is, I want to socket in my Death's Fathom I actually found in the pit runs recently. 467, Earthshaker, 4 to elemental skills. Almost halfway through here. 475, we find unique Demon Hide Boots, which are the Inferno Stride. Mid-range on the gold find. Next we find a pair of unique gauntlets, which are Frostburn. 510, we find Titan's Revenge. 2 to all actually 1 to all Amazon skill levels. but pretty good on the enhanced damage. Run 519, we find a unique amulet, which is a 2 to all fire skills, Rising Sun, and 9% fire resistance, negative, which is pretty good. 530, we find another unique jewel. This is a lightning facet, 3-3. 542, we find a Ravenfrost, 187, and perfect on the cold absorb. 561, we find a BK ring, usually Cathin's, but in this case we find a BK ring. 6% perfect on the damage reduced. Another Fury Visor, another Wolf Howl. Probably the best one I found so far. 6 to Fury and 3 to all War Cries. Run 600, I find a unique ring, another Ravenfrost. 615, we find a Demon Hide Sash, and this is the String of Ears. Perfect on the ED, or physical damage reduced, 15%. Next, 639, we find unique War Boots, and this is Gore Riders. These are the first ones I found, and they're very good for my Zealer. 661, find another unique Demon Hide Sash, which is 12% String of Ears. Another unique jewel drops on run 672, and that's a poison facet, 4-3. Next on run 711, we find Javelin and Spear Skills Grand Charm. Then 725, we find another Tal's orb, and that's actually 222, so I put it in this video. 736, we find a Set Ornate Armor, which is Griswold's. 2 to all skills. Pally skills. Run 751, we find unique Russet Armor, which is Skulders. Run 770, we find Vartex. 1 to all martial arts skills and 8% lifesteal. 801, we find a Totemic Mask. This is my first Jalals. Unfortunately, it's Eth. And I don't really have a Fury Druid. So, Demon Head, another Andy's Visage on run 815. 817, we have a Set Chaos Armor that drops, which is a 2-1 Trangs. Run 835, we find an amulet, and this is Atmoscarab. Run 856, we find unique Greater Talons once again, and it is another 1 to martial arts skills and 5%, so lowest on the rolls. But then I find a Grim Shield, lidless, 2 to all skills on the same run. 878. Another BK ring. I'm getting lucky. Usually I get Cathin's, like mostly Cathin's at 1 BK ring per 1,000 runs, but in this case, got pretty lucky. Another unique ring drops on 895. Carrion Wind. I like to use this on my my pit running assassin for the faster run walk. 901, we find a shape-shifting skill plus and 3 to max damage, which is pretty good. 921. Another Talwar drops, and that's the Alibaba. 933, we find Van Braces, and this is actually my first pair of Soul Drainers. Dual Leech minus enemy physical resistance, so pretty solid gloves right there. 951, we find another Andy's Visage. This is my third one in these runs here. And I also find an Eth Vamp Gaze, which is 18% physical damage taken reduced. Good for a mercenary. Next, on run 974, we find an Eldritch Orb. And this is the Escuta's Temper. I rolled 10-8. You good guys can pause it. I'm going too quick on this. Ariad's Face on 999. And then finally on run 997, another Grim Helm. And that is our Vampire Gaze 18%, not F this time. So overall, pretty solid rolls. I kind of want to do Meph more. I feel like I get a lot of good rolls, or I have a good map here, and I get a lot of good RNG, especially with my new source. So thanks for watching, and let me know if you have any questions or comments below.